Hello and welcome to Trinity Continuum on the Storypath Showcase. This is our session 1, and the title is Death of a Burglar. So we're going to go ahead and start things out with our introductions. Have everybody go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, who you're playing, and their pronouns, and then we will dive right into the action. So let's start things off with Ryan. Go ahead and give us your pertinent details, please, and then you can pass the talking stick.
Okay. So my name's Ryan. I go by I prefer they them pronouns. I go by Comrade Balls on Twitch and Twitter. I do run a show on the Onyx Path Twitch channel for like how to write community content. So if that's of interest to you, check it out whenever it goes live or watch it on the VOD. I'm playing Ariadne Devine. She uses she, her pronouns. An inspired stunt driver / stunt actor, I guess. So we'll see how all that goes. And Alexis, why not take it up from there?
All right. My name is Alexis. You can find me on Instagram at Secluded Moment. Today I am playing Clara Nadir, your resident gadget gal.
Beautiful. Love it.
And both I and Clara go by she and her pronouns. Take it away, Mitch.
Hello, I'm Mitchell, also known as Penny for a Tale on all the social medias. You can find me on my latest project, Necrobiotic, and then coming in October, Chew the Chi Chi RPG, doing writing for that. Other than that, I'm playing Chidi, who is your resident Mist of Rogers, and both myself and Chidi are he, they pronouns.
Love it. Excellent. And since I promised we were going to dive right into the action, allow me to deliver. You are in the middle of a car chase. There are 3 places you may choose to be in the course of this car chase, my friends. Would you prefer to be in the vehicle that is on its way to escape? Would you prefer to be on the vehicle of the pursuers? Or would you prefer to be in the helicopter that is on its way to lend support? Let's start things off. Let's let initiative decide. We're going to start things right away with an initiative roll. So if you note on your character sheets, the initiative should be marked out as a separate roll. Is that accurate? Bottom of your sheet, you should see a listing for initiative. Oh, and let me get you all to the appropriate map.
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing.
I clicked it right.
That's quite all right. Excellent.
Are we still, I assume, manually clicking the skill and the attribute separately?
Yes, when you are making a check for anything that's not initiative, first aid, or in the event that I ask for a movement check, gotcha. Which I probably won't because that is a system that is leaned on. That's a system from Scion, I think, that made it over into our sheets. But it is something you can use if you need to determine those things. So looks like in order of initiatives, we've got, you have 1 tick for the player characters that is going at the same time as the antagonist. The PCs get the first crack at it. So generally, if there's ties, it goes to the PCs. Then the antagonist will get a tick, and then the rest of you have ticks. So as you've rolled, you've got Chidi going first, but you're welcome to swap those ticks out if you'd prefer to. But Chidi, where would you like to be?
And so what were the 3 options again?
In the getaway vehicle, on the pursuer's vehicle.
That.
Excellent. Chidi, you are moving at a good clip, probably 60, maybe 70 miles an hour. You are going through a industrial urban area headed toward a commercial area, toward a commercial neighborhood. Your group was sent to rescue someone, a guy by the name of Frank Hale, who had been kidnapped. You were able to track down where he was, break him out of the place, but unfortunately things went wrong at the last minute, and now you are trying to get away. There are 4 of the kidnappers loaded into the sedan that you are on the roof of, clutching it for dear life. And you get to go first. What would you like to do?
All right, cool. I mean, I feel like we have Prince's 1999 playing in the backdrop, all Kingsman 2 style. And so with that in mind, he is going to try to flip and kick through the windows to slide into the vehicle so we can start getting freaky with him.
Excellent. Are you going for the back seat or the front seat?
Back seat. Yeah. It's more comfortable.
Well, why don't you go ahead and use close combat since you're going to be kicking this window. And we're going to give you a complication of 1 because you are atop a moving vehicle.
That makes sense.
So, and you are likely to engage in some injury. And then you may choose whichever attribute you'd like to tie that to.
I'm gonna use stamina. So he's not very strong. He's not very dexterous, but there's a window there and his fist is going, or at least his feet are going to get through it. So even if he has to like hop on it several times, just hanging onto the side of the car, like, he's going to get through that with tenacity and dedication to the bit.
I love it. So you go through and you kick in and are unfortunately, you don't fall off the side by any stretch, but you really kind of only crack that window. You don't quite break your way through. Now, this is a good time to remind you that you all do have a momentum pool. So that momentum pool is equal to, if I am not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 times the number of players in the group at the start.
Can I use one?
If the group has no objection, you may actually use a number equal to the number of dice, up to the dice you failed.
So that would...
Nope, I apologize. You begin with a number of momentum equal to the players at the table, and you may have up to 3 times the number of players worth of momentum at a time. So your pool begins at 3, and you may have up to 9.
I just like 1 dice, guys. Can I have 1 dice, please?
Sure.
Yay.
Excellent. You may roll a single die by clicking on that little D10 down at the bottom of our chat on the lovely Astral tabletop, which is where we're using for our virtual tabletops. Keep an eye out for more content on that. All right. No luck on that reroll, but you still are attached to the vehicle. You are still swinging now off the side, sort of trying to kick your way through this window. You're like, man, this is a tough window.
Yeah, it is. Like, holy heck.
But no luck in breaking it. Also, no consolation. It's not really a failure per se, so much as just you have not managed to make your way through the window. Next up, we have a tie between Clara and Adrian. So who would like to take the next slot in the initiatives as we're figuring out what the players are doing?
I've just realized I might have made a mistake with my character sheet. So if Clara wants to go first, I'm trying to fix it.
Sure. Okay. Clara, where would you be out of those 3 options? Where would you like to be?
If there's a helicopter, I'm always in the helicopter.
Excellent. And are you going to be in charge of piloting this helicopter, or are you going to just be riding along, like on your way for the extraction team?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you're overhead, and as you're flying over, you kind of look down and you see this chase playing out as they are barreling through the industrial park where they had acquired the target, just zipping along with this sedan in hot pursuit and Chidi sort of bouncing off of the side repeatedly, trying to break into the window. Are there any actions that you would like to take? Would you like to hang on and kind of see what's going on with the escape vehicle? Do you want to try to do something from where you're at?
I would like to see if there is some sort of mechanism or a ladder already on board this helicopter to see if I could drop a ladder to give Chidi an option to grab it if just in case.
There is definitely a rope ladder. The plan effectively at this point was going to be to chopper in and sort of extract everyone aerially so that you have a chance at actually getting this guy out of here.
Okay.
As soon as everything went sideways, you were probably, I'm going to assume, running some sort of overwatch, reaching out to people over communicators as these two sort of broke in and liberated the person. So as soon as it became clear that they were going to have to run in hot pursuit, your plan was grab a chopper and fish them out. So you absolutely are able to drop that rope ladder. Is there anything else that you'd like to do from your position? Take pot shots at anyone or anything else you'd like to try to offer? Or are you going to just hold on and be there to sort of help if somebody gets stuck on that ladder?
I would also like to see if I can take a shot at the windscreen of the pursuing vehicle.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
So you would go ahead and make an aim roll, and you can pair that with whatever weapon or whatever attribute you feel would be most applicable as you're firing from a moving vehicle toward another moving vehicle. So aim would be 0, and then which attribute would you like to use?
I'm going to use my intellect to calculate the trajectory and figure out the physics of the wind resistance and the speed of the cars. And I just am I'm going right for that windscreen.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make that intellect roll then. All right. So that's going to be 4 successes on there. Do you have a weapon listed on your sheet, or are you just using what was nearby in the...
I do have a short range pistol. I'm
Okay.
not sure if that would reach.
A pistol would work. You'd have a +1 complication because you're shooting at extreme range.
Okay.
But you have enough successes to overcome that. What's the enhancement listed on the pistol?
The enhancement listed on the pistol is it's concealable, it's silent, and it does ballistic damage. Sorry, 1.
Excellent. So that becomes a total of 5 successes then. So you can use those 2 successes to purchase to get rid of the complications. One is firing from a moving vehicle. One is firing at extreme range. And so that leaves you with 3 successes. So you could spend that first success to inflict an injury condition on the vehicle. And you can also purchase additional stunts with the remaining successes. It's not quite enough to purchase the critical stunt. And if you could, once again, please read to me the tags that are on that.
Concealable.
Okay.
It's ballistic damage. It's concealable and silent.
Silent. Okay, cool. Yep. So some of the other stunts that you might be able to purchase, do you have the sniper edge by any chance?
I do.
Okay. So if you look under sniper, there are a few options that you have there as well. So
Okay.
let me just see if I can bring up that page for sniper real quick.
All right. I'm thinking that what I would like to do is I want to injure that screen. I want to push another success to actually get the bullet through the windscreen. and then use another success to actually hit the driver.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping Sniper might help me do.
Let's see what we've got here. Sniper is... there we go. So you can subtract 1 from all difficulty increases for factors like range, wind, fog, shooting into a crowd, or poor light, or reduce the complication to a shot due to environmental factors by the rating in this edge. So what is your...
I have one rank.
All right, so that would remove 1, so effectively give you 1 additional success on it. So you're talking about basically trying to pierce through, shooting through the barrier and hitting the person.
Yeah.
I'll let you do that for 2 successes. So that'll leave you with 1 remaining success on there. You can use that to inflict a complication on that driver if you'd like, so that now their driving rolls are going to suffer an extra complication because of that other success that you spend. That is something you can always do when you're wounding someone, is use it for an inflict complication stunt, where you're just saying, well, now your shoulder hurts, so you have to buy that complication off.
Okay. I want to say I hit him in his head, and now he's got blood obscuring his vision.
Beautiful. I love it. Excellent. Yeah. All right. So let me just go ahead and mark down that wound that this poor fellow is going to suffer. And he is now going to be the +1 complication due to blood in his eyes. So that brings us to Adrian. What would Adrian like to do?
I'm assuming Ariadne is the getaway driver. That just seems like the logical thing to be in this situation.
That makes sense. Absolutely. You are up front. You have a slight lead on them, but they're driving a pretty good car. Surprisingly good. They're able to keep pace with you surprisingly well. What would you like to do on your action?
Are there any, I guess, how sturdy, not what kind, how sturdy is this car?
What's the size of the car you have listed?
The car in my character sheet is a sports car, so probably I don't want to be totaling it. Its size is 2.
We'll assume you're driving a car that's got 2 size scale basically. So it's also got enough sufficient durability that it can withstand minor bumps and bruises, unless of course you would like this to be one of your enhanced items, in which case you could kick its durability scale up by 1.
That'd be fine. No, it's mostly because one of my gifts requires things to be, if it goes badly, severe damage to vehicle or driver is like the cutoff.
So all vehicles basically have a number of injury conditions equal to their size that they can take, unless they have some sort of armor tag or something like that.
So I'm just getting confused by my character sheet now. Anyway, is there anything in the immediate environment that I think I could drive through or over that would obscure the view of the person driving the car chasing us?
Without the use of any sort of dramatic editing, you're driving through an industrial park. So it's really just kind of rows of buildings. There's some street lights. There are probably a few vehicles here and there, but they're probably mostly in parking lots, and probably a couple of chain link fences. Now, because I'm a fan of using dramatic editing, I would allow you to spend an inspiration for a conveniently placed pile of pallets that you could possibly drive through to create a bunch of chaff behind you. But that would probably be, unless you have like the navigation hazard gift and would like to use that, that would also be an option.
That is tempting. My other option, and I'll leave this up to the group because obviously Chidi is a bit involved in the car that I'm going to be interacting with. Would this car have anything like a steering wheel lock or something I could easily pick up and throw? Because I can totally add weapon tags to it by spending an inspiration point, and I'm not above throwing it at the driver of the car behind us.
Oh, like grab the club off your car and throw it in.
Yeah.
I have no objection to that. That's fine.
I just don't want to cause injury conditions on party members in the first session. In which case, I'll take the slightly safer route of dramatic editing. Sorry, I've just thrown all my bookmarks out the window, fixing my character sheet.
Oh, no worries. What was going on with the character sheet?
I'd picked a gift I was ineligible to pick.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And I need to check another trick, but I think I'm fine for that one. It's just like one minor thing, right? Per point spent.
For the inspiration?
Yeah.
Yeah. So effectively, like, if you would like to create, like I said, that stack of pallets out front, that will be there. You'll still need to make like a piloting roll.
Yeah, of course.
Knock it over and get it in their way. But you're eligible then to make a piloting roll to try to sort of knock this stuff and spread it across and make it more difficult for them to drive through effectively.
Yep. You know what? I can't think of anything better than a stack of pallets right now. So I will spend one of my 3 inspiration points to edit that into the, please disappear, thank you, into the environment. And I assume, as you said, we were successful and then it all went sideways, that Frank's in the car with me.
Frank is in the car with you at this point, yes. He is laying in the passenger seat with his feet up on like the headrest. Like he dove in the window, so he's upside down in the car, and currently trying to turn himself around. But he's not a small fella, so that's taking him a minute.
So I shift gear and aim the car and just kind of glance over at him. You might want to slow down there, pal, and then just plow straight into the pallets, hoping to cause some chaos behind me.
He covers his face with his forearms, as one does. Go ahead and give me a piloting roll. And what attribute would you like to lean on for this?
I'm assuming, like, I'm a stunt actor. Like, I'm used to keeping my cool under fire. I'm hoping for composure. Like, it's not obviously an everyday situation, but I've done similar things in a more controlled environment that I can extrapolate.
Yeah, this is not the first time you have used a car to dump a bunch of pallets. Excellent. So we've got a total of 3 successes. That will be the one basically just lets you hit it without causing yourself any damage. Congratulations. So the other 2 you can use to inflict complication on their next piloting check, if you'd like. If there's any other stunt that comes to mind you'd like to try with that, you're more than welcome to.
No, I was aiming for the complication, so I'm not going to overcomplicate things right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just go straight for the inflict complication.
Excellent. It will now be their turn, and just for clarity's sake, I had all of you go first so we could establish where you are, but they actually will interrupt your order the next time. So,
gotcha.
Let's go ahead and first have Kidnapper 2, who is now sitting at a complication of 3, one of which is the blood running down into his eyes, and the other 2 are the pallets that are suddenly strewn across the road. Is going to try to go ahead and make a driving roll to see if he can stay on your tail. He has not made sufficient successes to do so. So as he's kind of like wiping his eye from the blood, he smacks straight into one of the pallets and starts to spin out a little bit, lose control of the car. That will make things a little bit more interesting for Chidi when it gets around to his turn. But Kidnapper number 1, is going to lean out of the side of the car and try to shoot Clara. We'll see how that goes. That would be a total of 2 successes. It doesn't have enhancement, I do not believe. But what would you like to do as defense? You have the option of using your full or a full action for the turn. You get a number of full actions equal to your, I believe, cunning. That you can take without having to split your dice pools. After that, you have to start splitting dice pools and rolling the lower dice. So you can take a full defense to like dive, and you would roll double one of your resilience attributes. Otherwise, if you're just going to do a normal reflexive defense, you would just roll a 1 resilience attribute and add that to your defense.
I'm gonna go full defense.
All right. So go ahead and what resilience attribute would you like to rely on to avoid getting shot by this person?
I'm gonna use my composure. I'm gonna keep a cool head while being shot at.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll double your composure. So you'd roll it twice, basically. Excellent. So you have more than enough successes to avoid that shot. You just sort of lean back a little bit. A spark goes off next to your head. No problem. You're not hit.
I'm good.
Kidnapper 4 is just sitting there, like looking at your feet as this window is cracking, like holding his gun sort of shakily and trying to sort of just keep his cool and make sure he doesn't like lose it. He did keep his cool, doesn't start trying to fire through the window, which would be counterproductive, but he is reserving to shoot at you if you come through. However, Kidnapper 3 is going to roll down their window, come up the other side, and try to take a couple of shots at Chidi across the top of the car. How would you like to go about defending yourself from this, Chidi? Are you going to just use standard defense, or are you going to blow one of those actions for a full defensive?
Just standard defense.
All right. And which resilience attribute would you like to rely upon?
Probably composure.
All right, go ahead and give me a straight composure roll, please.
All right, let's do it.
Not too bad for keeping your cool. He's going to make that shot at you. That is 5 successes.
I'll use the momentum to activate my bionic torso, so I'll have 5 soft armor.
Excellent. That is very handy. You are shot, and that is insufficient for him to inflict a wound condition on you, an injury condition. So you're hit, and the bullet stings, but does not damage you sufficiently enough to cause some problems. You probably have some superficial bruising from where that bullet hit. Excellent. And that then brings us back to the top of the order. So, Chidi, it is your action. Again, you can take a number of dice actions up to your composure. Or no, I'm sorry, not sorry, composure, cunning.
Okay, since he's shooting me, I am going to... is there enough space for me to get in through the window now?
No, he's in the opposite side. Ooh. So he rolled down the window and like sat up on the door and is shooting at you. The one who's inside the window next to you has the gun like trained, like ready. They're not going to shoot through that glass, but when you break through the glass, they're going to fire.
Oh, that's not safe. Yeah,
they
need to be careful. So yeah, going with the original, just he's going to jump again and try to get both of his feet through that glass.
Excellent. Now, on this turn, you're going to suffer a complication of 2 because the vehicle is moving, but also instead of just moving forward, the vehicle is now like in a chaotic tailspin because of hitting that pallet. So let's do a close combat, and you may use whichever attribute you feel is most applicable here?
Let's do in this moment composure.
Okay. Excellent. That is sufficient to overcome your complication and break through the glass. You slide in. Now, are you going to try to go all the way in and kind of land on the people, or are you just getting your feet in?
All the way in. Let's land. Let's make this a party.
Excellent. So you land like in that dude's lap, and it's not sufficient enough, I don't think, to blow any stunts to like disarm him as you're flying through, unfortunately, as cool as that might be. But you land in his lap, and that definitely creates a bit of panic from both of those in the back seat. So let's see if they're able to retain their cool. The one whose lap you land in, surprisingly, keeps it together. The one who's like hanging out the door just shouts, "Oh shit!" and like starts to fall and like catches themselves, but now they've lost their gun and they're like holding on to the roof of the car.
Welcome to my neighborhood, suckers. So like peel off his sweater vest. Let's do this.
I love it. And you can have another momentum for the pool because that made me laugh. All right.
Yeah. Where are we putting the momentum on this on Astral? Is there a
I would just any one of the either in your character notes or
okay. I'll just
there's no like momentum trait to track, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's group pool. So now there is 2 momentum in the group pool. All right. And so that brings us to who hasn't acted. Kidnapper, they've all acted at this point. So now that brings us back to Clara. What would you like to do?
You know what? Taking shots at this car seems to be working rather well for me. So I think I'm going to try and do that again.
Excellent. You will now be at a complication of 2 because the, again, the movement, the
car spinning like a top.
Car spinning, all that stuff. You do have snipers, so you can reduce that to 1.
Okay.
So you would go ahead and make an aim roll. And then whichever attribute you'd like to lean on.
This time I'm going to use my resolve.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So that is sufficient again to hit the driver if you so choose and inflict.
I want to hit the guy who's hanging out.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, because he's nice and fleshy, so easy target.
Yeah, and in fact, because you don't have to pierce through a window to get to him, I would let you spend that other success to just knock him off the side if you would prefer to.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent. Kidnapper 3 goes, "Ah!" Wilhelm screams and flies onto the pavement and is taken out of the combat. Excellent. 1 down. Oh, and see, this is me already forgetting. You had not gone full defensive your last turn. You had, Clara, so you're out of actions, correct? Or do you have, what's your cunning?
My cunning is 3.
Oh, so you have 1 more dice action. And then I'll circle back around because I believe Chibi has another action or 2 at his disposal.
I have 1 more dice action. Oh, okay, I want to see if I can use my technology to rig up a small smartphone like device to jam a car's engine lock signal.
Okay, so you want to see if you can build something that's going to have the range to get down to them?
No, I want to kind of see if I can like program it super fast, and then I'm going to drop it down on that car next round.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you're trying to jury rig something, the way that works.
Oh, isn't the cunning thing like the number of actions you can have in a mixed action?
I thought that was just
individual
the number of actions that you got. Where are you looking at?
Where's the page? Page 103, I think it is. A character can only perform as many actions as part of a mixed action equal to cunning. So you roll like once on your turn, but you can obviously do multiple things in that as a mixed action.
Right. But I believe you also each action. Let me check here.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think ahead about what I'm doing. So,
Like a genius, I'm looking through the core book in print instead of.
Players make a single roll to determine the outcome of all the actions they're taking on a turn. That's page 102.
Yeah. When you have focus, it's your turn to act. Perform all the following reflexive actions, movement actions. Actions use focus. If the action is simple and complete.
It's chapter 4 for the specific rules, if that helps any.
Okay, you can perform an ordinary action or mixed, multiple things at a time. Okay, yeah, maybe I misread something. All right, so.
I mean, it makes sense because like programming and shooting are kind of really pretty separate things. So I can wait for a future round to program my car stopper.
Sure, no, that's fine. I must have either misread or misunderstood something. Or
there's a lot to keep track of. So,
no worries. And it's newish to everybody. All right, so then yeah, that'll be your next turn. We'll get a jury rigging roll together. And sorry, I got you all excited. That's no action. All right.
I know,
so,
right?
I know I'm a terrible human being. All right, so that then brings us to Aridine. Aridine, am I pronouncing that right?
Ariadne, as in the Greek mythological Greek woman.
That brings us to Ariadne. What would Ariadne like to do?
I'm just going to keep driving, getting as far away from the people trying to kill me, my car, and the mark in that order.
Okay.
And also just try to pull him back into the seat so I can get a seatbelt on him.
All right. So you're going to try to like arrange him while you're staying on the road?
Yes, very much so.
All right. So it'd be that would be a piloting role. And I guess for moving him, probably.
Might?
Sure. Yeah. You could do might piloting. All right. Yeah. So you're able to pretty much lose them at this point because they've been knocked out of, like they're not in direct pursuit. You're able to keep the car going straight, and you are able to pull him up and sort of get him upright in the seat. And he's like, heaving and thank you so much. Oh my goodness. All right. Anything else that needs to be done on your action?
No, I think that was me. I just kind of shoot him a glance. I still try to extend that lead. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, totally welcome. And then I mutter something about don't damage the car.
He sighs, and that brings us back to Chidi. So now you're laying on this one person's lap. The other one has fallen out of the side of the car.
Oh.
The driver is like holding his face and like trying to straighten the car out as there's blood running from between his fingers. And the passenger is like just turning around to look at you.
Yeah. So this guy, has he fallen completely out of the vehicle?
The one that was sitting out of the passenger side of the back seat fell completely out of the car.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So yeah, as he's like peeling away his sweater vest, he's going to just start headbutting this guy that he's given a brief lap dance to. Okay,
so you just sit up and just headbutt him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any mixes?
No, just full headbutt.
Okay.
Headbuttery.
All right, that would be a close combat roll.
You stand up for this in close combat. I have a tough head. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, that will certainly hit him right in his stupid face. And is your unarmed combat by chance, do you have like brutal or anything like that on it?
No, he just regular, very well lotioned soft hands.
Love it. You
head, because he's using his head.
Right. You do deal one level of damage to this guy, and blood kind of flies out of his nose. He is still up. These kidnappers are a bit on the tough side.
That's good.
But he's still up and moving. So in response, he's going to try to shoot you. He'll be at a +1 complication because you're close by. Go ahead and roll your resilience attribute of choice.
Oh man. Let's do resolve this time. He's just like he tenacious. He's getting ready for this. He's looking at the gun. He's got this. Oh no.
Right. No additional successes. So because it's a failed roll, I'll go ahead and give you another point of momentum. But you are shot in the side. Fortunately, your soft armor prevents you from taking any damage from that shot, but it again bruises and does not feel too good.
Yeah, that's not very nice.
Because you have their undivided attention, the kidnapper from the front seat is also going to whip around and try to fire at you. They shoot wide and hit nothing. They blow out the back window of the car.
In all fairness, this is a very alarming situation.
It is an alarming situation. Kidnapper 2 is going to try to right the vehicle, see if he can get overcome those complications. He does so and starts taking off again, but now you are 2 range bands ahead of him. So he's going to have a very hard time catching up unless something gets in your way up front. That brings us to Clara. What would you like to do? Clara, sorry.
I want to program the engine stopper-o-matic.
Right. So that's going to be jury rigging. And the way that that's going to work is you will make a cunning and technology roll.
Okay. Cunning and technology. And then I also have I'm an R&D expert. So
what is that? Is that under science or is that under technology?
That is not one of my gifts. That's my specialty.
Right.
That's my science specialty.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so that will add because it's technology roll, so it adds a +1 enhancement to it.
Yeah, so I have R&D expert for science, and then it's not a bug, it's a feature for technology. Those are my specialties.
Gotcha. Okay. So it would be technology cunning. It would be minus, or you'd have a +1 enhancement for that specialty. And you just basically need 1 milestone to set this thing off. And then you will need to choose 4 dots worth of flaws. So one-time use would be probably.
Yeah, one-time use, definitely. We can make it loyal to 1 because I programmed it so fast, no one else is going to be able to figure out how to make this thing work.
Love it.
Let's see what other flaws do I need to have?
Oh, it only needs the 4 points worth, so the one-time use would cover the points.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's just a rank 2 device. It's not anything too fancy.
Okay.
So you just need to get up to. Okay, so you got 1 success on it. So it will not be completed this turn unless you spend the momentum to kick another. Oh, wait, no, you got the enhancement, so that would be 2 successes. Yeah.
Da-da-da. I can reduce the complication by 3.
Oh.
Um,
Well, it would.
momentum.
Does that affect? That reduces complications, not difficulty, right?
Reduce the complication caused by the rank of the invention.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. So yeah, so that reduces it to 0. So yeah, you've got it.
That's if we all are okay with using that momentum.
All right. Cool. That brings your momentum total back to 2. And
I have Ms. Fix It, which might allow me to give a bonus here. No, that's for repairing things. Okay.
All right. So you have constructed this device that will effectively set off a signal and kill the engine of the car.
Yeah.
But you have no means of delivering it until at least the next turn.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at on that roll. Excellent. Ariadne. What?
Ariadne.
Ariadne. I will remember that one day. Ariadne.
That's cool.
What would you like to do?
Beyond just keep the lead going, I guess I'll do some jinking between buildings to try and break line of sight for long enough to get away cleanly. But that's really all I want to do. And just kind of glance at Mr. Hale and just let me do my thing. I'll let you do your thing, which is preferably just stay there and be quiet.
He nods, no problem. Happy to be of service. And he sits and buckles his seatbelt. Go ahead and give me a piloting roll to try to break line of sight, basically. You will have a complication of 2 because you are now entering a busy business district.
Of course. Mind if I use composure again?
That's totally fine, yeah.
Wow. Okay. The pilot roll wasn't so great, but then it happened.
Yeah, I think you're able to, we'll say that they're absolutely lost. Is there any other stunts you'd like to buy in the process? You'd have 4 successes left to buy stunts.
Yeah, I was thinking, could I spend those 4 successes on I know degree of success means that 4 threshold successes is you do it so well it attracts attention. Could I do it so well it attracts very little attention?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you basically round a corner, hit the emergency brake, back into an alley, and then slowly back out of the other alley, just like a casual driver, and just fold into traffic.
Excellent.
Yeah. He pulls some Nicolas Cage and Gone in 60 Seconds type of stuff.
That's what I was hoping to do.
Absolutely. That brings us back to the field of battle where your associate is not faring quite as well. So Chidi, you're now in the back seat. You've headbutted the one person, the other one shot past you, and the driver has now righted the car. What would you like to do?
It's just me and the bad guys in this car, right?
It is just you and the bad guys in this car. That is correct.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to reach to the front of the vehicle and try to just jerk the wheel. I
would say we can go close combat's probably the best bet there, unless you feel that athletics maybe I would allow.
Yeah, they're the same amount for me, so
okay.
they both work.
And what attribute would you like to rely
on? Probably cunning.
Okay. Allow it. Yeah, thinking on your feet.
Oh no!
Excellent. Still, that's still enough successes, especially because he's still bleeding in his face. So you reach kind of past him as he's wiping his eye free and just yank the wheel. The car goes back into a wild spin, and everybody else in the car is going to have a +1 complication to everything they do for this turn, as they're all disoriented and trying not to bomb. That brings us to the kidnappers. The driver is going to try to wrestle the wheel away from you.
Let's do this.
So why don't you go ahead and just give me, I guess, just a flat might roll to see what their difficulty is going to be on this.
I'm not very strong.
All right. So as long as they get one success, they can wrestle it.
Come
free.
on, mess up.
Exactly what they got was one whopping success. So they do wrestle it, control back of the car, but that's not really going to. Oh no, they don't because they had the complication. So they try and fail to wrestle the control free from you. That brings us to the kidnapper who's in the passenger seat, who's going to try to shoot you. So you can basically, your only option at this point is to take this shot. Fortunately, you're armored. So, they fire and it bounces off of your armor to no effect. The one who's behind you is going to basically try to shoot you in the back. Once again, not enough to hit you because of the complication. They shoot wide and it goes out the window of the car. So there's bullets flying out of this car that's spinning around in place. It's an absolute shit show down there. What would you like to do, Clara?
So I'm thinking that my device, I've very rapidly tied like a handkerchief around it.
Okay.
So that it drops and and so I'm just like very delicately trying to aim it so that it gets within proximity of the Bluetooth signal to get into that car system.
Excellent. Go ahead and let's say it's going to be probably athletics because you're trying to throw or drop something.
Okay. Can I add my intellect to calculate the trajectory again?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. All right. Unfortunately, you've got no successes. You drop that phone and it lands. You would have had it, but the car is spinning. It lands on the sidewalk next to it, and the car just spins right over it, crushing the poor cell phone. But you gain a momentum. Congratulations.
All right.
Still not coming to me. Ariadne. Thank you. Ariadne.
Would a phonetic spelling in the Zoom name help?
Maybe. Probably. Ariadne, so you're now melded with traffic and basically clear.
Yes. I assume we have, well, apart from Clara, some way of talking to each other.
Sure. Let's assume you've all got on earpieces. Why not?
Okay. In which case, I would just, I guess, activate the PTT or audio pickup or whatever. I think we're away scot-free. How's it going on your end?
You just hear from Chi, woo!
And like gunfire.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're able to hear that as well, Clara, because you've all got the earpieces in.
Okay, so then I will report back that you look like you're in the clear.
You spun entirely into a place, like in your chair, that you disappeared from the background.
Yeah.
Joys of Zoom. All right. So you reply that you're in the clear. Is that what you said?
In the clear, yeah.
All right. Excellent. Any other actions that Ariadne would take?
No, I assuming we have a designated rendezvous, I just head towards that.
Excellent. That'll bring us back around to Chidi. What you got?
All right. Let's see. So we're spinning around, having a good old time. Is there anything I could wheel the vehicle into to have a crash?
Yes, there are numerous buildings on either side of you. So
yeah, he's gonna just try to turn the wheel aimed at one of these buildings for an abrupt stop.
All right, that's going to be a piloting roll. And what attribute would you like to pair with that?
Cunning, I guess. Cunning or maybe composure.
I would allow either of those. Either one makes sense to me.
Let's do composure. And if it's okay, I don't have any piloting. Can I use the momentum, please?
I have no objection to that.
That's fine.
So you can go ahead and roll an extra die, or is that for enhancement if you do it before the roll?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. No successes whatsoever.
The good news is that you gain another momentum.
Yay.
The bad news is that you managed to like right the car just enough that the kidnapper is able to like step on the brakes and effectively kill all the complications that are happening in the car.
Yeah. It's never been so hard to be in a crash.
All three of them turn their attention on you. And so the highest action will just use the other two as enhancement as they attempt to shoot you.
Yeah. Like
as they basically just riddle you with bullets. So no successes though. Not a one, nay. So as they riddle you with bullets, your cardigan is just getting holes ripped through it left and right, but you're basically okay.
It's like I got this from the summer sales of Macy's, 1999. Can't get this sweater vest again.
What is this guy?
Are the rounds just ricocheting off the robot torso as well?
Yeah. So like it's just shattering the glass out of the windows. They're screaming and unloading their guns at you, and it's just they're having a bad day. Seeing this from above, Clara, what would you like to do?
So because now that I know that we have audio communication, I'm gonna say, Chidi, maybe prepare for air evacuation.
Oh, are we heading out now?
The quarry is free.
All right, send that ladder down, and I'll take a stroll out.
All right.
How are you doing today, by the way? Are you doing good?
You know what? I started strong, and I'm getting a little flaky seeing you and all those ricochets. So I'll be doing much better when you're up here in this chopper.
Oh, yeah, thanks. You're worrying about me just makes me feel fluffy inside.
I was like, can we keep the audio signals clear?
Brings us back around to Chidi. What would you like to do? There's like a ladder like drops and like hits the car door next to you.
Yeah, I'm like, gentlemen, make sure to call your parents. They miss you. I'm gonna reach out to grab the ladder and be like, all right, pull it up.
Excellent. I'm gonna have you do like an athletics roll, and I'm gonna give you a complication of 1 because there are 3 of them trying to grab you.
That makes sense. And I'll go with resolve.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So 3 successes.
You pop open the door, grab onto the ladder as they're all sort of impotently pulling at the shards and shreds of your cardigan that has been bullet riddled. It sort of tears a few pieces away, and you fly off in the helicopter.
Yeah, I leave a calling card, which is the website to my children's book that I've been writing for the last couple of years. So there's a couple of previews on it. Make sure to support the artist. Sucked into the helicopter.
You're pulled up into the helicopter and you fly away. The rest of you regroup. You all managed to make your way back to the safe house that Pharos had set up for you. When you get there, Frank says, I can't thank you enough. You've really helped me. I was in a bad situation.
No problem. We were just in a neighborhood.
Well, thank you. I will definitely, if there's anything I can do to repay your kindness or to be of help to you, you let me know.
I mean, it's a couple of nonprofits, I'm sure, could appreciate a donation, a charity of some sort. I mean, I'm particularly a fan of those that kind of push the creative arts. So I can give you a list of a couple places if you want to give thanks.
I mean, sure. I don't know what my finances are going to look like anymore. Probably going to need to set up a new identity.
That's fair. Take care of yourself first, though. Take a day off. This is a lot to process. You got to take care of your mental health.
Thanks.
Out of character question, do we know why he was kidnapped?
You have no idea.
Okay, in which case I just with what can only be described as forced calm, put the cup down that I've been drinking from. Take a deep, steadying breath. Why were we just shot at? What did you do?
Well, I asked the wrong questions to the wrong people. You see, I'm a trucker. And I was on the road. I came home from a haul and my family was gone. Everybody from my town was gone. Started sniffing around, found out that there were some people with ties to a company called BGL that were doing some sort of experiments in the area.
I'm going to Google BGL real quick, or Bing it. I'm going to Bing it.
Well, if you're going to Bing it, you're going to need to make you have a complication that you're using Bing.
All right, ask Jeeves. Gone. I'll use Google.
It's just a fraction of a second where it's just hovering over the juice button.
Right. No, go ahead and give me just like you could either go with technology or humanities.
Both are bad. All right, and intellect?
Sure.
All right, just rolling intellect. Ah!
Excellent. You discover there's a company called Bishop Global Logistics.
Like Bishop from the Alien series? Movie?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And global as in over the entire planet, and logistics as in logistics.
Fucked.
So BGL is kind of a multifaceted think tank. They do a lot of government contracts, but they also serve as kind of a centralized holding company for subsidiaries. So they themselves contract out their employees to work for DOD or, HUD or whatever to try to, solve problems. But they also hold everything from bubblegum manufacturing to nuclear weapons. Kind of have subsidiary interests in those fields.
Questions did you ask?
He says, I was trying to find out what happened to my family. And they came at me like I don't know, like it was a war zone. I think their CEO is involved in some dirty business. I just don't know what.
Well, it's a CEO, so obviously.
And I was only able to track down a couple of pieces of information. One, that some of the equipment that was being used in the testing is being originated from a couple of facilities nearby. I had the locations, but I lost them. They took all the information I was able to put together. And I was able to discover that one of the people from town is still around and has now started working at BGL. But it was when I went to go talk to him shortly after that meeting where he claimed he didn't know who I was, even though we've been neighbors for 5 years. It was after that meeting that I got grabbed.
What's our next steps? Seems like we got to get into this company, figure out what they're really trying to pull here, figure out if we can get his wife back.
Well, I have some connections to that regard, but you all have done so much for me already. I feel bad about putting good people in harm's way.
I utter a humorless bark of laughter. That's what I'm for.
We'll be fine. We've chosen this lifestyle. We'll be your good people. Get your wife back.
He nods and says, "Thank you. I don't know what to say."
Say nothing.
Or that you'll stop asking questions because we don't want to have to save you a second time.
Oh, I don't mind.
He says, "No, I think I'm done investigating for the moment. I mean, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I have nothing. I have no proof. I have no evidence."
We got this.
Well, we got something.
Do we figure that like the pharaohs can provide a safe house for a time for Frank?
Yeah, you can reach out to your team handler. We'll say for argument's sake, on this particular mission, your handler is a guy that goes by the name of Waldo.
Where is he?
I was trying not to.
That is the
Thank
question.
you for jumping on that one.
I couldn't. I'll jump on the grenade for everyone.
You do have a cell phone number by which to reach him. You're expected to report in anyway, so wouldn't be a bad idea to give him a call.
My phone's, crushed over there, so maybe someone else should give Waldo a call.
I just silently pass my phone over. It just gives me a headache. I don't want to break another cup.
I'll ring it.
Is Waldo here?
Hey, how you going? How you doing? This is your team.
Oh, Chidi, how's it going?
Yep, neighborhood watch chiming in.
Do we have the package?
Yep. Got it right here. Missing his wife, though. We need a safe place to stash him while we figure out where his wife is.
Give me just a moment.
Yeah, of course.
He says, You're at the prearranged safe house, correct?
Yeah.
All right, cool your heels. I'll be there in 10 with an explanation.
All right. Hey, all right. It'll be in like 10 minutes. In the meantime, everyone hydrate, get some food.
Well, does Waldo want? And I gesture at like the coffee machine or the kettle or whatever we've got.
Yeah. I don't know. They're coming as fast as they can. Maybe to look after this guy. But we should start thinking about what's our next move. Stay ahead of the game.
I've already taken Aradni's phone that she offered, not to make the call, but I am rapidly trying to do deep dive research into BGL and all of the companies that it's been listed as contracting with, and any facilities nearby that have any connection with BGL.
All right, go ahead and give me a would be either technology, enigmas would work as well. That would be fine. And then what attribute would you like to rely on?
That's going to be my intellect as well, I think.
Okay, go for it. Excellent. So as you're going through, you can have another point of momentum. As you're going through, you start to see a surprising amount of dead ends and dead links to websites that are no longer live. It looks like someone is doing a very sloppy job of covering their tracks, in the sense of just ripping down whole chunks of their internet presence rather than smoothing things over.
Yeah.
Looks hurried almost.
Yeah, because a global company would have a lot of information about it available. So the fact that there's not, that's interesting. Okay, well, in 10 minutes, I haven't discovered any real options.
Is there anything else that any of you would like to do during that 10-minute span while you wait for Waldo to arrive?
No, we're waiting.
Just make sure Frank is not going to pass out or leave, I guess.
No, he's surprisingly uninjured, and seems to be handling all of this relatively well. You kind of would expect him to be a little bit more panicked than he is, but he seems to be handling it okay.
In which case, I'm giving him suspicious looks from time to time.
Okay.
Not attempting to hide it in any way, shape, or form.
That's fair.
I'll give him a hug every other 3 minutes.
Nice. After about 10 minutes, Waldo walks in. And he says, well, I've spoken to Pharos. Mr. Hale, we're going to refer you to an alternate vendor who's going to assist you with everything that you need. Pharos has taken a great interest in your case, but we feel that the nature of your circumstances requires us to bring in another team. Now, if you would like to go ahead and go outside, you'll find there's a nondescript black sedan parked out there. Go ahead and have a seat in there, and you'll be meeting with your contact shortly.
All right. Trust you, I guess.
Franklin gets up and walks out. There's two sort of suit and tie kind of agents waiting outside the door that escort him out to the car. Waldo closed the door and says, "You all did an exceptional job. I don't want you to think that that has anything to do with you." It's come to our attention that there is another party that works in similar circles and run in similar lines of work to us, who has a direct interest in the company that Mr. Hale was investigating. We've brought the nature of the concerns up to them, and Pharaohs tells me that they're going to handle it internally.
Sounds good. I mean, as long as everything's taken care of. Are we still on point to handle the rest of this case? I mean, where's his wife? I'm curious as well.
If we hear anything from the team that we're passing it off to, we'll let you know. But this involves a group that we would rather not lock horns with if we don't have to.
So we're just off the case?
Yeah, good job. You saved the person. The world is a brighter place than it was yesterday. Take the win, couple of weeks of R&R, and we'll get you back to work.
Can I do a sense motive on this guy?
You can roll integrity cunning on him, sure.
Yeah.
Would it be empathy? If that's better.
Empathy would be fine too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So empathy, and what would go with that? Like manipulation or?
Manipulation would be fine. Cunning would be fine. One success.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't seem like he's particularly nervous or like shifty. He doesn't seem like he's trying to conceal much of anything. He doesn't appear to be deceptive in any way.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah. I guess we're ready for our next task whenever you are.
He says, yeah, Pharaohs trusts whoever he's handing this off to, and being completely frank with you, I'm not sure who he's handing it off to.
That's the nature of the company, isn't it?
Yeah, take the win. He reaches into his coat and pulls out a stack of $100 bills and tosses them to each of you. Have some R&R, you've earned it.
All right. Hey, you guys want to go to Dave and Buster's? Or
Sure, why not?
maybe
The babysitting's over. I could go for anything right now.
Wonderful.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. All right. I love this. How about you? Are you in it? Like,
yeah, I just need to go and get a new phone. Then I'll meet up with you. I feel like I don't have my arm right now, so I get that, and then I'll meet up with you guys.
Oh, I know what you mean. I lost my car keys once.
Your what? You lost your what?
I lost my car keys once.
Oh, okay.
I broke the thing, so the guy who picked my pocket.
Yeah.
One of these days, maybe you and I should talk about learning how to hotwire. And
It would be useful, yes.
Yeah.
Eyes light up.
I mean, we could take a class.
Excellent. You part ways, or you go pick up a phone, go enjoy your meal, get some rest in, and a few months pass. You go through various different other jobs, working together, things going well. When, as you're in the middle of another episode of leave, you each receive in the mail at your private residence a notice of an obituary and a handwritten note that says, your attendance would be appreciated, Frank.
Who is the obituary for?
The obituary is for a woman by the name of Angelique Rousseau. She is listed as being a executive assistant at Bishop Global Logistics.
So I have this lovely reminder of kind of this loose end with Frank. Makes me get on my computer, and I'm going to look up the name Angelique Rousseau. I'm also going to try and see if I can find the other person that survived those experiments from Frank's neighborhood.
Excellent. Let's treat that as two separate investigative actions.
Okay.
So first for Angelique Rousseau, I'm going to need you to make either enigmas or technology. And what attribute would you like to pair that with?
What attribute? I use my resolve.
Okay. And you are going to have a complication of 3 on this roll.
Okay.
All right. So as you're digging through, I'll give it to you with the 2 successes. You find just enough on Angelique Rousseau to realize that you're not finding information she has a little bit too clean of a search.
Can I even find the obituary that was sent?
You absolutely can find the obituary.
Okay, so that at least hasn't been erased.
You find it's not so much erasure as you find her Facebook page, and it is sort of there's nobody from any of the schools she's listed as attended is among her friends list. The posts are all very nondescript.
Okay.
It's kind of some meme sharings and a few boy, Mondays suck, right? Kind of posts. Nothing really personal. She doesn't have any other social media presence. And you're unable to find any sort of criminal record whatsoever.
Is it safe to assume that this is probably an assumed identity?
Safe to assume.
Okay.
That's about all you're able to put together though on her.
All right.
Let's try the other roll. It'd be the same pool as fine, but now you're looking into who else might have survived the Riverside incident.
Okay. And then do I use the attribute?
It would again be resolve. Okay. So with that, because you didn't have the same amount of complication at play, what you're able to find is that there was actually according to the news, there was a train wreck. A train derailed in the town of Riverside. Most people were hospitalized or killed. But there is one survivor who was interviewed by the press at the time and then later actually approached by a 40 event kind of podcast.
Okay.
By the name of Marcus Harding. Mr. Harding was rude and dismissive when approached by these podcasters. Basically, get the hell off my lawn was his whole attitude toward their approach. But the other interesting tidbit you pick up from the bio on that podcast is that he, since the incident, he wound up taking a job at BGO.
And so, is there any other way that I can find Marcus Harding in connection with BGL? Is there any sort of like staff list or HR document that I can dredge up?
Online, probably not that you can find, but you're fairly certain that if you had access to any of their offline systems, you probably could find a wealth of information on the gentleman.
Okay.
Any other activities you would like to do?
I guess I'm going to go to this, it was a funeral or
It
what was
was
it?
Angelique's funeral. Yeah.
Okay. So then I will plan to attend that.
Excellent. What about Ariadne? When you get this, what are you going to do?
I would contact who, assuming we have a usual point of contact during leave in case anything comes up, saying that there might be a security breach, having just received information, this at a private address rather than via the usual channels.
Noted.
And then, I just let Molly, Ariadne's living girlfriend, my living girlfriend, know that I might be away for a few days and head out. Put the essentials in the back of the car and head out.
Are you telling the point of contact what you were sent, or are you just telling them?
Yes, I would give all the pertinent details.
Okay. Thank you. I will run this up.
It's just if there's, a leak in the organization, that's a problem for all of us.
Of course. Do you need me to send security to your home to make sure that your loved ones are safe?
That would be appreciated while I'm away, yes, please.
Of course. They hang up, and you make it to the car, and your phone rings again with a blocked number.
I'll answer.
It is immediately obvious to you that this person is using a voice disguiser. Ariadne, this is Pharos.
Have I had any contact with Pharos before?
Directly, no.
Indirectly, I mean, I know.
Pharos is ultimately the one who dictates who does what jobs.
Would I have had any indication about their preferred title?
Just all anyone ever refers to them as Pharos.
Okay.
I mean, they're referred to as by he, him pronouns throughout the company. But
okay, in which case,
that, no.
It's hello, sir.
I apologize for the unorthodox method of contacting you.
Oh, no, it's quite all right, sir. I just was concerned that there were issues within the organization.
I mean, this phone call, though I do believe I suspect I know where the breach of security may have come from. Angelique Rousseau was a friendly rival, one might say. It is of great personal interest to me to find out who is responsible for her death and any information that might tie back to how this connects.
This would be, and I totally understand if the answer is no comment, but this would be related to the other organization involved, presumably.
Yes. I assume you recall the Riverside incident, the kidnapping of Franklin Hale.
Indeed.
I don't want to say too much. I can see to it that a dossier makes its way to you, say at the funeral. But Angelique was a member of a rival organization known as Les Fantômes.
I nod, fully expecting that somehow Pharos knows I've nodded.
Travel safely. I'll ensure that I'll personally see to it that your home and your loved ones are taken care for while you're gone.
Much appreciated, sir. Am I at liberty to share said dossier with the other members of my team?
Provided that they were contacted, yes. If not, I can see to it that they're activated.
Understood.
Very good. He hangs up.
I yell through the open door that some people might be coming along to check on you. Just, be aware of that they may be a bit shady.
Okay, is everything all right?
Yeah, just, some past work has caught up with me.
Okay. Should I be worried?
No, I have full confidence in whomever is going to show up.
That sounds confident.
And then with a be safe, I'll head into the car and head off to the funeral.
Excellent. Is Chidi doing anything upon receiving this message?
Preparing a fruit basket. He's got some natural fruits and herbs in his backyard. I mean, this is a horrible thing to have seen. So someone's going to need a pick me up. So he's just prepping for that.
Wonderful. You're able to put together quite the arrangement. It's made with love, and you can feel the love when you look at it. It definitely, sparks a sensation of common loss and comfort. And you all arrive at the wake, and that's where we're going to just take a quick biological technological break. So those of you watching at home, just blink and we'll be right back. The rest of us, go ahead and take a moment, hit the bathroom if you need to, grab a drink if you need to, and I will be right back myself.
All right.
There we go. Everyone is back and we are all in one piece. Yes.
I think so.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns before we move forward into the next portion of the story?
We don't have enough momentum.
You don't have enough momentum. That's true.
Chidi, get on that.
I'm working on it.
We'll see what we can do. So you have responded to the invitation and you've come to the funeral. When you arrive, are any of you making an effort to arrive at a specific, like early, late, anything along those lines? Or you're just kind of trying to get there when you get there? Excuse me.
And this is, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that I would like to get there a little bit early and just kind of scope the place out. Kind of to see if there's any like inherent danger or any sort of like above and beyond surveillance of, this area.
Okay, I'll get to that in 1 second. Did you have something, Chidi?
Yeah, I'd like to show, because this is are they burying the body or?
The specific thing that you were invited to is like the visitation. So it's just they're kind of displaying her. And
oh, okay. Then yeah, he'll arrive early with flowers and just be there to help set up the place. I don't know if they need help putting up chairs or like cleaning, but he'll have flowers and like a wreath and stuff and just like
offering to be one of the helpers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
Tough time.
And what about Ariadne? Are you going to try to arrive early as well, or?
I would actually, because I am expecting the dossier and I'd like to read it before the visitation starts.
All right. So we'll say for argument's sake that Chidi probably arrives first. Like crack of dawn, really kind of setting up, maybe like straightening up some, a little bit of the front porch and whatnot. When you arrive, Clara, go ahead and give me a integrity cunning roll, if you don't mind. You don't notice anything particularly out of place other than Chidi like cutting the grass with scissors at this point, just trying to make sure everything is perfect.
Is it with the scissors, like the scissors and the ruler, or just doing by eye?
Oh no, you gotta have the ruler. You can't eyeball that. Not if you want perfection.
And you do see Ariadne pull in. Are you driving your car, Ariadne?
Yes, I'd be driving my car. It'll be hard to miss.
You definitely see Ariadne pull in as well, probably about 20 minutes before people start actually showing up. Are you going to approach either of your teammates? Or are you going to stay in a vantage point to keep an eye on things?
I'm going to plan to just kind of hang out and just people watch as people come in.
Okay.
See kind of what their demeanors are outside, and then kind of compare when I get inside.
And are you set up like are you at the actual funeral home, or are you going to be kind of in a building maybe like up the road or down the street or across the way?
So I've kind of done a like once around, and I've hoped to maybe find like a bus stop or some sort of spot where I could just kind of sit and just seem like a weird person who's just sitting around messing with their phone for a while. Yeah.
At about 15 minutes prior to the start time, people start to kind of arrive en masse. Pretty much right away, Ariadne, you're approached by a gentleman who hands you like a small gift-wrapped box and says, "I am very sorry for your loss. I believe you will find everything that Pharaoh sends along with his regards in here."
I'll take it, and your kind words are much appreciated in this trying time.
Walks off. And as he steps away, you see Chidi in the background sort of hugging people and just telling them that it's a rough time and that it's okay. Everybody feels that way some days.
Yeah, I'd like to think that the this little artifact I have can like just have that perfect warmth for the hug, like generated in its torso.
You've got the Baymax hug going on.
Yeah, it's like oh yeah.
Exactly. It enhances the hug. But you also see Franklin kind of standing in the background. Like as the person steps away, you see Chidi off to the side, and like they reveal Franklin behind them. Franklin is sporting like a very obvious dye job. Like his hair is dyed white, but it really looks bad. He's got some stubble that isn't doing him any favors. It looks like he's trying to be in disguise. He's wearing a suit that doesn't quite fit him. And he's just kind of standing uncomfortably and awkwardly.
Not a smart character in the slightest. In fact, intellect is my lowest at 1. So I would just go and I would walk, not like directly next to Chidi, but close enough that he can definitely notice I'm there.
Okay.
And then just kind of stand not next to Franklin, but again, close enough that he sees that I'm there and that I can just keep an eye on him in case he does anything stupid.
He walks over and says, "Thank you for coming," and extends his hand. And
I'll shuffle the gift box around and take his hand, shake it.
He says, he leans in and kind of whispers in your ear and says, "I'm going by Ralph right now."
Pleasure to meet you, Ralph. It's been too long.
It has. I really thank you for coming out. And I see your friend is here. I didn't see Clara. I wonder if she got my invitation. Why don't Chidi and Ariadne both give me an integrity cunning as well?
Sweet.
Wonderful. All right. Chidi, you notice two things. One, you do notice up the block, like because you guys are all sort of standing on the front lawn of the funeral home. You notice at the corner, Clara is sitting, kind of doing like a Carmen Sandiego vibe, like she's got a paper up and like a big hat. But furthermore, you notice a man and a woman in gray suits, sort of standing away from the rest of the attendees on the lawn, seem to have a particular interest in Franklin, at least.
All right, I will approach them.
Oh, okay.
Be like, hello. It's a dark day in this neighborhood.
Hello, yes. Very sorry to hear about Miss Rousseau.
Yeah. How'd you know her?
We're work friends.
Oh, where do you work at?
BGO.
That's cool. I'm a author, specifically children's books. It's my hope one day to maybe even have a children's show of some sort. Maybe settle down somewhere close to the ocean, the beach, someone I love, maybe raise a few.
That's lovely. How did you know Angelique?
We had done some consultation. She had consulted me concerning the book in the past, providing advice and such. Real good friend.
Oh, my heart goes out to you for your loss.
For our loss.
Of course. While you are talking with them, I guess first off, is there any role you would like to make, or anything you'd like to try to glean from the interaction?
Yeah, were they some distance away from everyone?
Yeah, they were kind of standing off. So if you imagine kind of the front lawn, most people would be gathered sort of by the door and on the front walkway. They were kind of standing off to the side in the like a front corner of the lawn.
Yeah,
somewhere where they could kind of see the whole front area.
Yeah, with empathy, I just like to know, like, are they really emotionally upset, or are they here for another reason?
Sure, go ahead and make an empathy, and then whatever attribute you feel would be best.
Might. As I punch it out of it. No, okay. Manipulation?
How are you feeling?
Feel better. Manipulation would be fine.
Okay.
Right, so what's success? They definitely seem cold. That could be dissociation. But they certainly don't seem like they're emotionally invested in the situation.
Chidi's going to raise an eyebrow.
While that exchange is occurring, Franklin kind of looks over and spots this going on and puts, kind of like taps Ariadne on the elbow and says, "Let's go this way."
Of course. And I'll follow him.
Just starts walking off around the back of the building and then into the funeral home. They're walking in a spot that you pretty much can't help but see them, Clara. So as you look over, you do spot Ariadne and Franklin in his terrible disguise and bad dye job, walking kind of up and around the lawn. Do you want to stay posted, or are you going to get up and interact with them?
Yeah, I feel like probably the majority of the guests have probably arrived by now.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I'll kind of walk towards them. No sudden movements, and I'll signal to Ariadne that I'm approaching. But I'll kind of, I won't like walk directly up to them. I'm going to kind of be around so that I can kind of catch what they're saying, but not necessarily interrupt the conversation.
So sort of meander and try to pay attention to what else is going on.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me one more integrity cunning, but this time you will be at a complication of 1 because there's a lot of people milling about at this point. Okay, excellent. So you are able to sort of pick up. It seems like right now Franklin is just trying to get Ariadne inside the building, but you also pick up Chidi and the conversation that Chidi's having with the 2 people in gray suits at the far side.
Okay.
Nobody else leaps out at you as being of interest.
All right. So then, yeah, I'm gonna actually walk a little closer to Chidi.
Okay.
And yeah, just kind of be around. I don't really want to directly engage in a lot of conversation. I don't know enough about Ms. Russo to really bluff my way into.
Right.
Because I feel like whatever information I got off the internet is totally BS. So I'm not sure if I start spouting those little tidbits if I'm going to get called out on it. So yeah, I just want to kind of be around. And then eavesdropping, lots of eavesdropping.
All right. Most of the attendees seem to be speaking of her kind of in general terms. There's a lot of, she seems nice. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people here that have a close personal relationship with her. A couple of them seem to know her socially, like from a few, like a bar in town that a lot of the BGL employees go to after shift. Like one person works the deli up the corner from where she lives. But doesn't seem to be a lot of like close personal connections that you're overhearing anyway, people talking about. You also hear a lot of...
Any family?
Doesn't seem to be any family here.
And anyone that's like from her deep past, like, childhood friends or, school friends.
If there are, they're not on the lawn at the moment. You do hear one person talking about how grisly, the details seem to be, and like, I mean, there's a reason that casket's closed, type of stuff. Yeah. Really kind of being morbid about it.
Do they give any details in that conversation?
No, it's kind of, under their breath, like they're trying to be polite, but still gossip at the same time.
I sent a text to Chibi saying, maybe come and talk to this person and ask for some of the details of what happened and a description.
And as you're standing there sharing a moment of awkward silence with these 2 in the gray suits, your text message goes off.
Yeah, it's the for Clara, it's that whistle like. Flips it open.
The woman in the suit kind of raises an eyebrow.
But an old-fashioned man. What can I say? I have to get this. It's a text message, but I don't want to be talking to you and looking at my phone. I kind of want to, when I talk to someone, I really want to engage with them.
Of course, we should probably get inside anyway, and they start to make their way toward the inside.
Yeah. Hey, I'm also here for you. So.
Thank you. It's very kind.
I'll try to hug him.
The man leans in, but doesn't actually put his hands up. So he just kind of like,
both hands.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an integrity cunning while you got him hugged up next to you.
I always roll an integrity cunning when I'm hugging people. Ooh, 1 success.
He's either remarkably happy to see you, or he's got a gun under his coat.
At the risk of doing something horrific,
Oh, by all means.
I'm going to grab it.
Are you trying to like sneakily disarm this person, or are you just like grabbing the gun? Those are different things. Like,
yeah, let's sneakily try to grab it.
That would be larceny. What attribute would you like to pair with your larceny? And what is your larceny?
My larceny is a sexy no.
Excellent. What attribute would you like to rely on here?
Is sexual assault an attribute?
That's why I was like, I'm hoping, please be a gun. This is weird. Like, is there a check to make sure it's a gun before I start grabbing?
Don't let the story guide's choice of words fool you. It's definitely a gun.
Okay. I was like,
he has a gun. He has a gun in his coat for sure.
Yeah, then I will composure to get my hands on this big gun. Oh, yeah, 3 successes.
I also probably shouldn't joke about things like that. I do apologize.
No worries. No worries at all. Let me just see if they notice.
Please don't.
They maybe. Nope. You pick their pocket.
Yeah. As I turn, I'm gonna like look at this gun like
it's a cute little snub nose 38 special.
I'm gonna like I'm gonna take all the bullets out.
Okay. Kind of like with your back turned to them as you're walking inside, like
yeah, just like I put it in my pocket, make it look like it hasn't been tampered with. And then I'm going to turn around with the gun and hand it back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you dropped it, I guess.
Well, if you'll excuse us.
Why do you have a gun at a funeral?
He says, we're here on our break. If you'll excuse us.
Wait, your break? What sort of job do you? Are you security guards?
Yes.
Both of you?
Please.
No, please. I'm just, curiosity. I'm trying to distract from the crushing pain upon my heart that this day has brought on to me. I'm choking back tears at this moment. So yeah, let's go.
Are you trying to like lay this on thick? Maybe make a
yeah.
Once again, this would be larceny based.
Okay.
And you can clearly see this whole exchange happening, Claire.
Larceny manipulation?
Mm-hmm. That would be fine.
Do we get a momentum?
You do get a momentum. Got that going for you. They kind of exchange a look and say, speaking of breaks, ours is over. So thank you very much. And they turn on their heel and start making their way over to the parking lot.
Well, you guys just said you were going to go in. What happened?
We need to get back to the office.
Okay. And I get out my phone, texting Clara. Track them with your phone stuff. Do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get like a tracker chip like a GPS tracker and just like get over in their direction as they walk away.
Sure. Give me a larceny check with your choice of.
With my extreme larceny skills.
We have plenty of momentum if you want to use.
I'm going to use my composure to try and make it seem natural.
Okay. You want to spend some momentum to reroll some failed dice?
I think so, because I think tracking these people, like we've got so little information. I think that having a tracker would probably be good. So
spend up to half your pool. So that would be what? Yeah. Up to 2 to reroll.
Up to 2 to reroll?
Yep. So you could do roll 2 dice basically. So just tap 2d10s and see what comes up.
Can I roll 1 and then like see, or do I need to add them together?
You need to use all of the momentum at once. All right. So we've got a 10. You can reroll that 10. So roll 1 more.
10? Wait.
Yep. So one of the dice came up at 10, and 10s explode. So you can roll another die.
Oh, okay.
It's just built into the roll another die. It came up at 10. Okay, so you got 2 successes. Yeah, you sort of, and it like sticks on the back of the dude's collar. Bless you as they walk off. While all this exchange has been going on, Ariadne, you and Franklin have gone in the back of the funeral home, and he immediately slides you like a jump drive, like a thumb drive. And he says, I think we're being watched.
Oh, most certainly.
Angelique was the contact that your people put me in touch with, and she was helping me. We've gotten some information. All the data I have is on copy. There's also an address there of a safe house that I've procured in case things went sideways. Can you meet me there tonight?
I will certainly try my best to.
Stay safe.
You too.
Goes deeper into the funeral home.
I'll follow, just discreet distance and decent. Half a minute later to make it look like we weren't together. Just have to both be in there.
And as you're kind of walking back in, you see him like ducking past. There's like the main viewing room, which you notice is like 2 people in it. Nobody seems to actually be in here viewing at all. There's like the mortician and like an usher. But he's like ducking out of that room into there's like an antechamber that's got like a table with snacks on it. And then in that room is another door out, and he's sort of ducking his way out, basically.
I'll linger in the viewing room. No.
And you see closed casket. There's a picture of her.
Bow my head respectfully for a few moments, and then I won't leave via the door, but I'll swing by the snack table to save free food.
Swing by. It's a nice spread. And you can now, like, as you've seen, he is gone because there's like a window in there as well. You see those 2 people in gray, like getting into their car.
Can I see Chidi anywhere? Because I still don't know that Clara's here.
Go ahead and roll integrity cunning. We'll see if you can see from where you're at. Yeah. So like you see Chidi, and you can kind of see like that sort of like panicked texting that Chidi was doing. Like They look like they might be a little upset.
I'll grab something that I know Chidi likes to eat and make my way over.
Probably like some grapes or some sort of fresh fruit.
Oh yeah. Oh, like if there's a chocolate fountain here, maybe like a cupcake with a chocolate. Are there not chocolate fountains at visitations?
Generally, no. That's
I turn up and I've got this is plain vanilla cupcake, and look, it's the best I could do. Okay.
Okay. So what's up? What'd you get?
Well, it's kind of the gift box. Draw attention to the gift box subtly. Well, this is from the boss, and Ralph gave me a thumb drive.
Oh, we should give that to Clara. She does computer-related stuff.
And he thought it was being watched, and some people got into a car and presumably drove off after him when he left.
Oh yeah, I just talked to two people from the BGL. They had a gun. Seemed like they were more so here to keep an eye on things. They got spooked by me, but now Clara's using her technology to track them.
I look momentarily like I want to correct Chidi about like it's just say tracking technology. Just she's tracking them works perfectly fine, and then obviously think better of it.
Advanced tracking tech.
Two people like gray suits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they went up after him.
And you definitely, by this point, Clara, have seen Ariadne step out as well. So you're aware that everyone's there.
Yeah. Should we follow?
Well, if Clara's got it taken care of, I really should. Well, and if Clara's here, should
we should probably follow in a vehicle.
I look over at the bright red sports car. Yes, but perhaps a subtle one.
I can call an Uber. I have 5 stars.
Of course you do.
Whilst that is definitely something to consider, I don't, from personal experience, Uber drivers don't like it when you try to commandeer their vehicles.
Yeah, sometimes. You got a point there.
So maybe we'll see if Clara can hotwire a car.
Ooh.
And go after them ourselves.
All right. Yeah, let's, and going over to Clara, just be like, hey, can you hotwire a car? Preferably an environmentally friendly one. Something with a good, like, gas, ratio to miles. Like a Prius.
Clara, as you're answering this question, or thinking to answer this question, first I'd like you to go ahead and give me a technology roll for that tracking device. Just technology, and I would assume probably pairing it with intellect, but whatever attribute you feel is probably best. Okay. Can you probably, but you notice on the tracker that the car seems to get up to road speed for about a minute and is now stopped and has been ever since.
Okay. So I am going to send the information that I'm receiving from this tracker to the phones of Chidi and Ariadne so that we all can access the information.
No problem.
And I say we should definitely go and check that out. I just really want to do... I want to go and check the body before we leave.
All right, let's do it.
For what it's worth, she was a member of the other the organization that we handed Franklin. Sorry, he's going by Ralph. That we handed Ralph over to. She was his contact.
And I just do a quick sweep of my eyes and make sure that nobody is intently listening to what we.
Nobody seems to be remotely interested in it. And in fact, you're now getting that vibe that people have sort of paired off into their own little social circles, and everybody's kind of, they're keeping it it's kind of I don't know if you've ever been at a like a wake where it's a bunch of people who vaguely knew the person and they're not inside the building, but that tends to get more it's more gossipy and more like, people catching up about their lives than anything else. Nobody appears to be very interested in what you're all talking about at this point.
Okay. Yeah. So I say GD and I point out to that one person that was giving the gory details in like a PC description of what happened. I was like, that person, try and see if you can figure out what happened. And then Ariadne, maybe you could help me with the distraction. If we can get the viewing room empty, that would be awesome.
There's only 2 people in there. Well, certainly when I left a couple of moments ago, there were only the staff in there anyway.
Perfect. Maybe like break a few things.
Well, as much as that is my language, is it subtle enough?
Do you have a better option?
No. And I was trying to get...
really good at fixing them. I can come back and fix them later.
I was trying to do so well. Okay. No. I can do it.
All right. So...
I'll also pass Chidi the gift box and the thumb drive to Clara, just so I don't lose them. I explained this is from Pharos, ostensibly, with some information about Angelique and the organization she works with. And this, pass over the thumb drive, flash drive, whatever you want to call it. Ralph gave that to me, said it has everything he knows on it, as well as an address for a safe house is procured.
Okay.
Right. Give me 30 seconds.
Awesome. So yeah, I'll just kind of like walk and kind of be standing by the door to the viewing room.
All right.
Just waiting to get in.
And what are you going to do for a distraction, Ariadne?
So this is not going to go so well. This is not going to go well at all. I'm going to go back to the free food.
Okay.
And as I walk through the building, like walk towards it, I'm going to fake like the walls are just coming down. This is the worst day of my life. My dear friend Angelique is dead, and I'm going to faint super dramatically onto the table of free food, hoping to throw it all over the place.
Oh yeah,
and cause a distraction.
It's like that scene in November Rain when the dude jumps through the wedding cake. It's just absolutely trash the place. Go ahead and give me. Let's do a larceny, I suppose, and then whatever your chosen.
Could I do empathy?
You can do empathy, or athletics if you really want to dive onto the table.
Empathy is higher for me, but I have stage combat as my close combat specialty. That would necessarily include dives.
Absolutely, 100%. You love to see it.
My composure is kind of the wrong thing. Manipulation and presence are both the same for me, so I'll pick one of those.
Okay.
So if I get a success, I get an enhancement. 2 successes. Oh, actually, before you say if that's a success or fail, does anyone mind if I spend a momentum?
Don't mind.
All right. So we still got
that didn't
2.
Work. Interesting. Why didn't that work?
Did it not roll?
No.
Oh, did you paste the
there you go. 7.
The formula into the chat?
Yeah.
It's because it doesn't have the parentheses around it, probably.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah, so you still got 2 successes, which is still enough to bring the Undertaker and the Mortician and the Usher in there. Oh goodness, we've lost someone. Mitch had to step away, but will be rejoining us next week, and we're getting close to the end here, so we're going to resolve this little investigation real quick. So Clara, you were stepping into the room as soon as you hear them sort of rush out.
Yeah, so I just kind of slip in through the door, beeline it straight to the casket. I'm pulling out my multi-tool just in case there's any sort of lock on the casket.
Okay.
To get it open, I want to open it up entirely and do just a really quick but also fairly thorough check to just look at it, but then also use my knowledge of biology to kind of just assess, injuries and possible causes.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me, as far as lifting the actual lid of this thing, that's going to probably rely on like a larceny or an athletics.
Okay. I'm terrible at both of those.
Which
not like a technology tinkering check.
No, because it's not like a mechanical casket. It's just got like a very basic lock on it. But your multi-tools enhancement will apply as long as you get a material success.
Okay, so let's use athletic glue and resolve. I'm very resolved to get this open.
All right. Very good. That's all you need. So you get the casket popped. You're able to slide your multi-tool in and get the one sort of simple lock on it. You pop the casket open. Nothing immediately leaps out at you. Go ahead and give me, I would say we can go enigmas and then your biology or medicine, either way, because biology is your science specialization, right?
Yeah. So science is supposed to also be like the natural sciences as well. So,
yep. So medicine or enigmas, whichever you feel is most appropriate here.
Okay, I can't roll science itself.
No, you would be rolling. Your science specialty would apply to it because you know biology. That gives you a bonus to a related roll.
Okay.
Right. So you will get the enhancement from that specialty on this roll.
Okay. So enigmas. And yeah, I'm going to rely on my intellect to kind of figure out what's going on here.
Okay. So that's a total of 3 successes on that check. So it's hard for you to tell immediately, but you do definitely see a number of signs of what indicates repeated blunt force trauma. So it looks like she was in a scrap. Kind of things you might normally check for obviously would have been addressed during the embalming process. So like you can't tell if she's got like somebody else's skin under her nails or something like that. But you can see enough to tell that like there's makeup covering some bruising. It looks like she was probably hit with blunt force. It does kind of beg the question, why is this casket closed? Because she doesn't look particularly like mangled.
Okay.
You would expect with a closed casket that she would have been severely mangled. But in fact, it looks like she may have even been prepped for an open casket funeral and then somebody chose to make it closed casket at the last moment.
So with the blunt force, can I make kind of a guess as to whether it was like a weapon or an object, or was it like fists? And
this looks to you like bare hands.
Okay.
And I'll give you one more question.
Where are the majority of the blows?
As near as you can tell, she suffered blunt force trauma everywhere where there's exposed skin. She took a couple hits to the face. Looks like maybe she might have been choked at one point. There's some bruising on the chest poking up out underneath the blouse. And it looks like her hands might have been slammed in something at some point. You don't really have time to undress her, but you can safely assume that she's probably covered head to toe in signs of struggle and fight. Looks like Looks like she went down fighting for sure.
If I do like a really quick like roll of her, like are there any like significant injuries on her back or behind?
Yeah, so you roll her up, and as is often the case with someone, the back of her clothing has been cut, so you're able to pretty easily see the back. Yeah, it looks like she like something large hit her across the back. Your guess would be, just on a quick once over, that she was probably slammed into something rather than being hit in the back with something large. Looks like maybe like she slammed into like perhaps like a large table or like a bookshelf or something like that. Like it's pretty bad back there, and there's no attempt to cover it up. So I mean, it definitely looks like severe blunt force trauma.
Okay.
Was probably the cause of death.
All right. So then I try and arrange things so that it doesn't look like anybody's done anything here, and I close the casket up and I lock it. And
while you're doing that, what's going on over in the snack room?
Oh, I'm coming to and letting them lift me up, help me to my feet. But wouldn't you know it? Every time I try to put my feet under me, I strap on food and I slip again.
Okay, excellent. Oh goodness, ma'am, please try to try to contain yourself.
I'm sorry. I'm just it's a bit overwrought, and dear friend, and then like put my hand on the table and straighten sandwiches and fall flat across the table. It's going to be bruising on the ribs, but I'm trying to sell it to keep their attention. Why
don't you go ahead and give me an integrity cunning check while you're at it, just to see if you can kind of keep track of what's going on in the next room.
That's a 2.
Excellent. Yeah, you're able to sort of immediately, is like the second that Clara like shuts the lid, locks it, and goes. You're able to kind of recompose yourself.
Thank you for the assistance. I need some air, and I'll,
of course,
probably hobble, limp slightly out of the door. And then the moment there's no window, the limp goes.
Excellent. You two reconnect out front. And at this point, and this is the last bit of information I'll leave you with, you notice that despite all of that time, that signal still hasn't moved. As if their car was suddenly stopped.
We won't have to go very far.
Beautiful. That's where we'll pick things up next session. Sorry Mitch had to take off at the very end there, but we're going to go ahead and do the outros for the rest of us. So if you could, since I started with Ryan first time around, Clara, please give us your pertinent details. Tell us who you are, which do your pronouns, and who you're playing in their pronouns.
All right. I'm Alexis. Pronouns are she, her. And I do all kinds of weird things. But on the internet, you can find me on Instagram as Secluded Moment. And it's been a good game. Thanks for the game.
Thank you so much. Thank you for playing. It's been a blast to have you. And how about you, Ryan? Give us your pertinence, please.
I'm Ryan. I do stuff on the Onyx Path channel. I do stuff on my own Twitch channel. It's Comrade Bubbles that on both, obviously. It's the same account. I'm on Twitter as Comrade Bubbles. Day of recording, I released a supplement on the Storypath Nexus of Scion. So please go and throw $5 my way for the Inkaborn, or not. It's up to you. I know not everyone likes to play Scion. And hopefully you're enjoying the show. I'm having a blast playing Ariadne. This is very different to my usual kind of character. So
I'm feeling much better now that I can pronounce Ariadne. Sorry about that. I have names problems.
That's cool.
No, this has been a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing where things go. I guess that leaves me. I'm Travis Legge, he, him. When I'm not running games here, I run them over at Plastic Age Plays on Twitch. I am a freelance writer, game developer. I do a lot of work, obviously, with Onyx Path. So definitely go and check out Trinity Continuum Core if you've not yet done so. And speaking of Scion, I believe when this airs, we will still be having, I think we'll be at the tail end of the Dog Days of Summer sale, in which you can get Scion Origin and Scion Hero and the Scion Dice at 40% off over Indie Press Revolution. So please be sure to go over there and pick those up. We'll see you again next time. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other. Get your shots, wear a mask.